Hi again, everybody, and welcome to a Tuesday night edition of the Muskogee Rougher Coaches Show, as we are each and every Tuesday night from 6:30 to 7 here on Rougher TV and on Okie Country 101.7, live from Runts Barbecue. I don't know how Russell Pratt came up with the slogan, "A little better barbecue," because it's just pretty doggone good.
I've tried something different every week, and I've not been let down yet.
And just for the record, describe for me what that monstrous piece of meat was that was on your plate, Dale Condict.
Well, it was a deep-fried pork chop that I saw Coach Macnack get, which when he got it, it was like two of those and 4 pieces of chicken and
yeah.
4 sides. But, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, he has his own
I guess he's kind of VIP.
He's yeah. But let's get back to the show now. We're live from Runts Barbecue, where it's a little bit better barbecue and a whole lot better dessert tray to go along with it. And we'll ask just how fast one of our offensive linemen devoured a huge bowl of banana pudding earlier. Just let me tell you, it was about 2 spoons and it was gone. Let's talk a little bit about Rougher football. We've come through the first 3 games of the non-district schedule. Obviously, the record tells what it is, but I think you're seeing continued improvement from start of the season to now.
Well, there's no doubt. We felt like today, believe it or not, today's practice offensively, things started to come together. I mean, it really did leave all of us, the players and coaches, I think, very excited for what we think we're starting to see happen. And, boy, trust me, it's tough to go through it when you're losing because you put a lot of time in. You have a lot of pride in what you do. I mean, I don't think Muskogee, I know they're not used to losing 3 games in a row. I think I can think of maybe one time I've experienced that. But, you know, the key to us moving forward is to stay the course. Remember that we're very capable of achieving all the goals we've set forth. And, we have 2 weeks to get ready for this next game, so we're going to use that to kind of, fine-tune some of the things we need to work on. And I think being able to say we're starting a new season going into district play really helps, too, to know that now it counts, and this is the time where we got to pick it up and get going because that's the expectations from all of us. We all want to go win.
Sure.
So.
A lot of people may not have recognized it, and when I say what I'm going to say, I don't want it to sound like it is excuses, but when you take a look at the rankings in the state of Arkansas and you look at the 2 teams that you played the last 2 weeks, there's not much space between Rogers and Bentonville West than the top of the largest class in Arkansas, Class 7A.
No, they're both today. They're both ranked in the top 5 in 7A. And they're great football teams.
7A in Arkansas is much like 6A1 is in Oklahoma.
And we're not at a place yet during this season that we're ready to play those type of teams. Now, the Booker T game is actually more disappointing to me than the 2 Arkansas schools because I think we were capable of winning that game and didn't get it done. So, but, at this point, all we can do is learn from that and continue to sharpen things up and be ready to go to Ponca City and come out with a win.
And like you said, it comes at the right time because going into last Friday night's ball game and afterwards as well, you had 5 starters standing on the sideline in street close.
Yeah, we held some out. Some couldn't have played yet, and then some of them were just being careful that, if we have to pick a game, do we want them to play at Bentonville West in a non-district game, or do we want them ready after a bye week to be fully healed up and ready to go? So we want them to be ready, here when we go to Ponca City, and it looks like those guys are all on a track to be back and ready to play.
And it also gives you time to be a little bit looking at yourself as well as looking at your opponent with some extra time.
Oh yeah, we've evaluated the heck out of every position, and we're trust me, the hours are being put in, and I'm extremely proud of our coaching staff. They've kept things as positive as we can, and still coaching them, but the time and effort is being put into it's constantly trying to figure it out, and we're going to continue to do that. And we think this week we've started to kind of slowly figure some things out.
I think it's a compliment too, Dale. I mean, I've been around the locker room at Muskogee High School for many seasons, and this year is no different. I mean, the offense works out of one room. They call it the war room. The defense has their own war room, but you don't hear any division. I mean, I've been in camps where the offense really didn't get along with the defensive side. But
Right.
your guys all seem to intermingle, and, if Travis comes over from the defensive side or, Gilly comes over, it's over to answer, and your guys go over and ask them questions, and that exchange of information back and forth kind of gives you another perspective, and it all goes to success.
Well, and for example, Travis Bryant has been an offensive coordinator.
Right.
And he is a good person for Mason to lean on, for me to get information from. And he's been through it. We've all called plays. Any offensive coordinator has called plays on a night where it didn't go well. And, boy, you talk about being alienated when you're calling plays and it's not going well. And because you have a plan going in, these plays are going to work. We're going to move the ball up and down the field, and then you get in there pretty quick. This is going to be more challenging than we thought. So we've all been there, and he understands.
So that's when you go home and you ask Sherry, what play should we have ran?
Yeah.
Or did she tell you what play you should have ran?
She's not one of those. She's not telling me what. She might recommend what top I put on or what type of shoes I wear. But
she's your fashion coordinator?
Yeah. Well, she tends to at least say that we looked really good in what we wear, but I mean, whether or not, I don't know. She's really positive.
But I think she's just as much a want-to-win type person as you are.
Well, she wants to win because she wants to see us enjoy what we do, and the longer she's around, the more she gets to know people and the kids, the more that she's going to get invested in that. But sure, this is what we do. I mean, this is our livelihood, so it's important that we succeed.
Absolutely. We're going to take our first time out. When we come back on the other side of the break, we're going to make part of this show tonight kind of the Condict Family Hour. We'll get a chance to meet another member of the staff who's not only coaching with his dad now, he also played for him, and he also goes home with him. We'll talk with Colin Condict when we come back after our opening timeout on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show. We're live from Runts Barbecue in Muskogee.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
A super time to buy September savings at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Buy a new Silverado 1500, take $10,000 off MSRP. Shop over 60 used from $16,965. September savings top the list. Don't overpay. Come see Jay. New Silverado, 10 grand off. Over 60 used from $16,965. At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
Ugh, my brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that? But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless. My sister even dropped hers in the pool, but Bravado's trade-in help has her covered. And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that? Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
Welcome back to Runts Barbecue. We're live in Muskogee here on Okie Country 101.7 KTFX, our radio partner for Rufford football again in 2025, as well as on Rufford TV. Bill Huddleston along with the coach of the Muskogee Ruffers, Dale Condict, who alongside him has a young man that played for you as an athlete at Wagner High School, now coaching on your staff, Colin Condict. First of all, from Dad's perspective, was it easier to coach with coaching Colin or with him on your staff?
Probably having him on the staff might be easier, but he was easy to coach. I mean, both of mine were actually team players. They were great to have.
They really didn't have much
really
choice
were.
about that, though, did they? I mean, they knew
Not
what the
really,
rules
but
were.
they could make it. I mean, I've seen coaches' kids make it difficult on their dads. So, but yeah, they were great teammates. They were fun to have on the sidelines from the time they were little. You know, you start out as the T guy, and then you move up to the water boy or whatever, then you ball boy, and then you play. So
Colin, what was your first experience on the sideline with Dad back as a youngster?
I was in about second grade, and I started doing the T-boy, and I think I was on the sideline every single year after that.
So what was your time? What was your time to go from the sideline to the tee and back to the sideline? Because I know Coach probably had a clock on you.
not fast.
It may shock you. It may shock you, but I was not the fastest kid growing up.
Okay.
So my whole goal was just to make it out there and back before the team started lining up. That was my goal.
Hey, you know what? That's all you had to do before the referee wound his arm and said, let's go, right? That's all you had to do. Now, let's talk a little bit about it as a player. You played in the offensive line and had a little responsibility of starting every play.
Yeah, so most of my life, actually, I played tackle in Little League, guard from middle school until my junior year. And then my senior year, I had to flip over to center. And that was a pretty tough transition, but it was one of those things I felt like I could do it. You know, I wanted to take that on. And I don't know, I never had a problem with, like, the setting the line or getting things controlled up front. It was always just making sure I got the ball back there was my problem.
And you want to make sure you got it back there because you knew Pops was looking on the sideline?
I got it a couple
Mom
times.
was up in the stands watching.
I think Mom felt bad for me if I got it wrong. You know, she was there to console me. He was there to get on to me.
And you were a part of what championships there at Wagner?
Only the 2020.
2020,
so my
okay.
senior year.
All right, awesome. Now, from there, you went to the University of Oklahoma, spent some time on Brent Venables' staff. Talk to me. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great experience. So the first 2 years I did it, I started out as an equipment manager. And actually, my dad got to know Coach Chavis, the defensive end coach there, through Alex Schildknight, who Chavis was recruiting while he was at Wagner. And they obviously built a relationship, and I had built a relationship with Chavis over the 2 years as equipment manager. And I guess I worked good enough to where he's like, hey, we have a student coaching job open. If you want it, take it. I was like, well, I mean, I feel like I'd be crazy not to. So I took that. I did that for a year and a half, and it was a ton of work. It was really stressful. And some nights I was like, wow, what have I gotten myself into? But at the end of the day, I'm thankful for it because it showed me this is where I want to work. I want to be a football coach, and I'm forever grateful for that experience.
Yeah, I know, Dale, you were just beaming ear to ear when you knew Colin was up at OU.
Oh yeah, I was excited just for him to have those relationships and to be a part of a program like that. It's at the highest level of college football. Definitely I could see the amount of knowledge he drew from that, the amount of football he knows. He's way ahead of most guys that we would get straight out of college. So
certainly, let's talk a little bit about. I asked you about playing for Dad. Now coaching with Dad, he says it's easier on that side, but there's still boss to employee, so to speak, as well as father-son.
Yeah, it's definitely still like, I got to show up ready to do my job, make sure I have my guys ready. But I don't get yelled at as much now, which is kind of nice. That's a lot better. But it's still that thing, like, I know I can't show up and just be like, well, my dad's the coach, so it's all good.
Right.
Good. I show up with the mindset of I'm new here. I'm trying to make my ground. So.
You're trying to climb that ladder.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I asked both of you earlier, does football stay at the stadium, or does it become just a part of every breath you take when you get to the house? Dale, I will let you answer that question
I wouldn't
first.
say every breath, but it's part of who we are, and it's what we do. So, wife Sherry is very interested in us, and so therefore she's very interested in the football part of our life, and she definitely enjoys that. So, yeah, we can't help but talk football when we're at home.
And watch tape, right?
Oh, yeah.
Watch film, watch games, discuss players, strategy. Yeah, it's just part of it.
So when you were looking at game film at the house, Colin, would coach say, okay, Austin, Colin, you take one part, Colin, you take another, or did you just give the remote to your mom and let her run the back and forth?
Sometimes we'll let Mom take over. No, it's just I focus on what I'm doing, and he's got his thing. So I'm worried about the O-line, D-line. That's what I work with. So
Right.
I'm grading these two guys over here. He'll meet in a second. I'm on them, making sure that they're doing what they need to do.
Yeah, that's what he'll grade those. He'll watch those linemen. I think that first Saturday we sat there and watched college football, he might have spent 5 or 6 hours grading those linemen because you're going to each one and you're watching through every play several times, and so. But he's used to that. That was one of the great things about that job. They put him in a dark room in there and said, "We want to know all these your things off of film," and so he understood the work required to prepare.
So now let me ask you, when you're looking at game film of your guys, what things are you grading? And then when you're studying the opposing defensive fronts, what tendencies are you looking for so you can prepare guys like Hunter and Jack to get their job done effectively?
So obviously the first thing you look at is, are they doing their assignment? Are they getting to their guy to block them, or on defense, are they filling their gap?
Are they making the right block on the right play?
Yeah, and then after that, it's all about technique. Are they staying low, using their hands, running their feet, being aggressive? All that I really take into account for grading. I think it's very important. And then when I'm looking at the opposing defense, first thing I want to look at is, can I kind of get a feel for how they're setting their line? Can I kind of feel like, are they setting it to the back or to the tight end or to the speed? So that's what I'll look on, and then obviously just seeing how their guys play. If they have a guy that plays really high or something, or if there's someone that's really good at using their hands, coming off the ball fast, that's what I want to try to know. So I can relay that to them, and they can also look for that on their film.
Okay, now let's get your perspective of coach. What type of demeanor does he have on the sideline? Because from my viewpoint up top, most of the time, unless he's having a discussion with the Stripes, he seems to be very calm and collected and in total control.
Well, typically, it's very calm. He's always in control. I'll say that. I never felt like my dad has ever lost control of a sideline. He's always in control. He hasn't been as calm so far this year, but it's always one of those things. He's the guy. Like, you can feel that, but he's never someone that's just going to lose it on his players. Like, he's not going to have a freak out moment. He's always in control, relatively calm. And, I was up in the box last week, so I couldn't really see how he was.
So is that an advantage for you to be up in the box to watch those big offensive linemen?
Oh, yeah, it definitely helps just being able, because from there, it's really hard on the sideline to try to see that far side of the line. It can be really difficult. So being up in the box, you get a good view of the whole entire line, and if there's a glaring mistake, you're able to see it up top.
And we had a few, and he let me know.
I bet he did.
We're trying to fix them.
I'm certain that he did. Okay, now, Colin, we talked about your dad's dining choices tonight. Obviously, you're working on the physique and all that kind of stuff, because I still see food on your plate, unlike your dad's, who's like mine, it's gone.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, part of me still thinks I'm back in my high school days when I could eat, just a nonstop
like
amount.
the two guys to your left did?
I could eat like them. I can't anymore. That's the work schedule. I'm working all the time now. I don't eat as much. But I went with the catfish, the burn-ins, and then I got some mashed potatoes and gravy, and then went with the baked beans. And, I mean, it was great.
Last question for the two of you. What was your first round pick? Well, I'll ask you first, though. In the fantasy football league that you guys are all a part of, you coaches, who was your first choice?
I went Puka Nakua.
Okay. Dale?
I'm trying to think of who I picked first.
I went back-to-back Puka, Amon Ra. You let them both fall to me, and they went.
I did?
No, not you. Well, yeah, you did.
I get the idea that we're just seeing the fuse to the fireworks, that there's a competitive nature within.
All I know is I beat Coach Fine like a drum this last weekend. So.
Well, I lost my first week game to my daughter-in-law, but I came back in fine fashion this past week and picked up a win. You get the idea that Dale and his son, Colin, they get along very well as father and son. They get very well as head coach to assistant coach, and they're extremely competitive. I don't know if that comes from the father-son relationship or just part of the name Condict. But anyway, it's good to have Colin with us here tonight. And we're going to let you take a step aside, and we're going to bring in two of those big guys down to his left that have some big responsibilities in the rest of the season, Dale.
Yeah, they do, and they're capable. They're both they've got off to a good – these two here got off to a good start this season with what they do, and so, yeah, they're good ones to have with
Happy
us.
Jack Christian.
Happy Jack.
Happy Jack. And Hunter Lanier. You're going to get to meet these two members of the offensive front line when we come back after this timeout on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show live from Runts Barbecue.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Runts Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runts Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runts Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runts Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Welcome back to Runts Barbecue. We're already kind of in a chuckle mode here as we get ready for this next segment. We're going to give you a chance to meet two very integral parts of the success of the offensive line. Immediately to coach's left is Hunter Lanier, and down on the opposite end, I called him Happy Jack a moment ago, Jack Green. These two guys, I think, enjoy playing football, and they enjoy everyday life, Dale.
I'll be honest, this is the first time this year for this show I've been nervous. But actually, to clarify, Hunter has played a lot of center. He's our center, played center for the Ruffers all last year. Jack played some O-line the other night, helping fill in some spots, but he's been a kind of a staple of the defense.
He has, yep.
And so if we get everything lined out on the offensive line, we'd prefer for him to be able to really focus in on defense, because just to stay fresh, he does such a great job of controlling that interior of the line, but he has been more than willing to help out wherever he's needed and did a good job.
Well, he's the one guy, too, that came here tonight who had already had food.
Yeah, but it didn't slow him down.
But then, I mean, as fast as that banana pudding totally disappeared, like one bite, 2 bites, and it's gone, I get the...
Well, now Hunter, back in this, I think it was early summer.
Yep.
Early summer, he came to me and he was telling me some of these issues he was having with, like, rash, staying up, itching, and everything he was describing to me sounded just like what Coach Bryant had been telling me a year before. And sure enough, it was the dreaded alpha gal. So he's on no beef or pork right now.
Okay.
But he's found a way to maintain. So
now, what some people may not know, though, if you just look at him, you can tell he's a pretty wide-bodied guy as the starting center. But actually, Hunter, you're down about 25 pounds from a year ago.
Yeah, a lot more mobile this year. Feel a lot better.
How has that flexibility training helped you to be a better offensive center?
It's helped me move my feet a lot quicker than last year and helped me reach a lot of guys more than I could last year. I struggled a little bit with it last year.
Now, obviously, you can't snap the football with your head down, but you know the snap's got to go back, and the guys aren't under center like they were back in the days when Coach and I might have been trying to play the game of football. How difficult is that for you to be able to take that no-look snap and know you're going to put it right in their hands?
I don't think it's very difficult after how many times you rep it. At first, it was a little bit off, and we were trying to just figure out how everybody likes it, but now we've got it kind of down to a T.
How do you get that snap back and make that right move for a block? Whether you're in pass block, you're going to step back and protect. Mm-hmm. But on a run game, sometimes you got a nose right over the top of you. You got one shaded off to the left or to the right. How are you able to fire out of there?
Tell you what, I want that hand back pretty quick. I get that back there and I shoot my left first, and then that right comes with it. I just try to get my hand back as quick as I can. That's really the secret to it.
Yes, people take it for granted that you notice when they mess up, but it's not as easy as you think to do that and to step, like you said, you're stepping right sometimes, you're stepping left, you're kind of kick stepping, and that changes a little bit of how you're going to pitch it back there every time. So it's definitely it's muscle memory, but it takes a lot of time.
So let's slide on down to the banana pudding monster. We call it. I said Happy Jack a moment ago. I think he's really happy after he knows he might could get a refill on that banana pudding before he leaves.
Amen.
Jack, let's talk a little bit about your responsibilities in the defensive line. Talk about your position. Describe what your duties are up there.
Well, first, I'm the nose guard. I've been playing since junior year. I started junior year as the nose guard. It's just been, I wouldn't say I have I know what my position does. I get the center, who I go against every day in practice, actually. It's just I make a pathway for our linebackers. So I'm never going to you never find me making the most tackles, the most sacks all the night, and you kind of just leave that up to my D-end and my anchor and my linebackers. But I know what I got to do and just hit that center or hit that guard, and that's about it.
Now, Hunter talked a minute ago about getting his hand back and being ready to go and make that block and what he tries to do coming off the line of scrimmage. How do you try to take your opposing center when you guys are in practice or the opponent? How do you try to take that guy totally out of the way?
Well, I just move my feet. That's all. That's what I'm best at. If you tell me to bull rush, I can bull rush like nobody else. And well, he's seen it, but he's also got some moves on me too. I can't say I've done the best.
Is he better than most people you play against? I hate to put you on the spot and embarrass Jack, but
I'd say Jack's a lot better than most of the guys I've played.
See, there you go. I like to hear that.
That's the competitive nature you want. How about the other way around?
He's big. I'll say that. And he got, especially recently, he's been getting me good. He gets a good hook on me where I can't really work a move real quick.
He gets the hook but doesn't get the hold.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, I would say that.
That's why they don't throw the flag. You talked about both of you started the last 2 years. How much has that desire to win continued to grow in each of you? We'll start with you, Jack.
Well, I would definitely say, I just talked about this today. It's, coming from winning a state championship to also this next year losing one, it's just, it's been weird, since we've had 2 good seasons, but I hope this will kind of put a fire under us where we can play harder, play smarter, and just be a better football player coming into districts, honestly.
Hunter, how about you?
I'm with him on that. I'd say that loss in the state championship really lit a fire. Because, we went from winning, pretty much blowing everybody out.
Right.
Not like this year. It's not the same, but I think we can hop back on track with it, and everybody wants to. We're not used to losing like this.
There's kind of an acronym that gets used all the time, the Muskogee Way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For the two of you, what is the Muskogee Way?
Discipline, I'd say, is the biggest thing, is the discipline and the desire to want to be there.
Jack?
I don't want to, sound all cool, but I would definitely take Condict's words is great, or what I really think is resilience, what he talked about today at practice. It's just, when you're tired, go harder. When you're fighting, just fight harder. Just strive to be better in every way. Just get better every day.
And what I'd say about both of these two that I've noticed is Jack plays really hard. When I'm watching him play defense, and I watch the film back, and he's relentless, man. He goes every play. He's trying to win the game, and he did the same thing when he's on the offensive line. He goes really hard. And then Hunter, same way. He's going to play hard, but what I've seen in Hunter, especially as things have gotten more difficult, is his leadership continues to grow in a way that we need it to. And so these two are doing the right things to help us get to the places that we want to go. And with guys like this, it gives me hope that I think we can.
And they're very well spoken, so they can get their point across to their teammates.
Hey, we had a fundraiser this past spring, and these two were involved in it, and Jack and his brother Ryan sat there under the tent pretty much all day. And I was like, man, these two would be awesome on a podcast. I'll tell you, they're interesting. So.
Before he gets out of here, now both guys kind of turn to the side so our viewers can kind of see the hair,
Here, hold up.
Look at that.
Ooh, that's real
now,
nice. That's real
let
nice.
me just set this story straight. Hunter, you correct me if I'm wrong. Freshman year, the guy to your left, Jack Green, kind of looked like this. Or pretty close to it.
He shaved it down.
He had the long hair, and he shaved it all the way to skin.
I did.
I did. How many times since then, Happy Jack, have you trimmed the locks?
Sorry, what was the question?
I said, how many times since the freshman year, when you buzzed all the way to the skin level, have you trimmed the locks?
I would say twice now. I kind of let it. It's like a reset every time I recut it. Like recently, I've been thinking about cutting it off again. You can see the hair dye in my hair. It's a little messed up in there, but I would definitely say I think twice, if I'm not mistaken, where I've shaved all my hair off. But I think we might see another episode of me where I have no hair again.
I tell you what, I'm making a deal, Jack. Hey, you shave yours off, and I'll grow mine out.
I don't know if there's much growing, but I got you.
How would you know? But you don't know.
Well,
shoot, I might
take it from this old man right here. Once it goes,
it's gone. My dad's just the same way.
It doesn't come back. Like I said, Coach, we knew we were going to have a lot of fun with you guys.
No doubt.
Yeah, Jack Green, he's to the left. Hunter Lanier right next to Coach. Two very important members of the 2025 football program for the Muskogee Roughers. Our guest, Jack, what are you taking home with you? Did I hear you ordering food to take home? Round 3?
Yeah, I'm gonna get me some more banana pudding for sure. They got that vanilla wafers, real banana, and the banana pudding. We're set. And then I gotta get my dad something. I gotta get the family something. So I'm getting my dad the brisket dinner, and so we can eat it for lunch tomorrow at work. I might get mom something too.
Well, hey, don't forget mom, right, Hunter?
Shoot, I might be right there with him with that banana pudding. He's been talking it up this whole time.
Okay, yeah. What would Sherry want you to order for her, Dale?
She would take some of that sheet cake. She likes that. She likes sweets.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Anytime you come to Runts, a little better barbecue and some really good tasting desserts. Jack Green, Hunter Lanier, along with myself, Bill Holston, and the head coach, Dale Condict. Back with another segment of Rougher Football tonight from Runts Barbecue after this timeout.
Folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to NissanofMuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to NissanofMuskogee.com.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The number one choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com. Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Roughers.
Have you been injured as the result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Back at Runts Barbecue, our final segment of this week's Tuesday Night Coaches Show with head coach Dale Condict. We talked about this being an open date. It's not open for no reason because you do have a definite game plan that began Saturday morning probably and then fueled up on Sunday and will continue to escalate from now until through this weekend and on down toward next weekend, but an extra few days to prepare yourselves as well as for your opponent in Ponca City and also to recover from injuries and start the real season.
Yeah, and we mapped out, the 2 weeks. We kind of mapped out a plan of what we thought would be good moving forward with some extra conditioning this week, maybe shorten practice down a little bit and, focus in on the things we really need to work on. And then Friday night we'll probably distribute around and watch some games of opponents that we're going to play and, make the most of it. So I've had a bye week in playoffs a couple of times with different scenarios, but never during the season.
But if you were going to have it, this would be the way to do it, 0, 1, and 2, and then have the extra few days to get ready for the real deal.
Yeah, it's no doubt if you're going to do it, this would be the best break to have.
Well, certainly here tonight we've had a lot of fun, Coach. I think it was close to the traditional today's podcast environment.
Right.
With Hunter and Jack, you're always going to have plenty to talk about and plenty to be said and explained sometimes. But it's also good to have Colin with us as well.
Yeah, they're great group of guys. I'd say with Jack, we could have done an hour or 2 hour show, whichever we'd have wanted to do. I'd sit and listen.
I know one thing. I think Sherry was concerned that it might be quiet time, but it wasn't. With Colin, with Jack, and with Hunter, we had never had a moment's. I just kind of had to sit back and let you guys talk. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and heck, maybe playoff time they might be the type we bring back. Right?
Well, here's the deal, guys. We've had so much fun. Now it's go time to get ready to take care of our business. Starting a week from Friday when we go on the road to Ponca City. Looking forward to win number 1 here in the 2025 campaign. For head coach Dale Condict, for assistant coach Colin Condict, and for the 2 members of the Rougher football season, Jack Green and Hunter Denier, Bill Huddleston saying so long. We'll see you back here next Tuesday night, same time, 6:30 to 7 on the Muskogee Rougher Coaches Show, live from Runts Barbecue. Remember, as always, it's a great day to be a Rougher.